what do you got in the news this week? Not bad. We're kicking off today with a game that looked at the game industry and said, hold my beer. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, and The Gamer, making an honest-to-God positive article showing that gamers want more games like it. Yes, The Gamer, making an article praising a game that gamers like and wasn't infested with a piss-poor attempt at pushing a narrative message of some kind. A Redditor going by 8118DX posted on r/RPG games that the game is a line in the sand, followed by an explanation how they hope the game changes the philosophy of many studios in the game industry. Hey, I'll drink to that! A Reddit user also posted on r/gaming a post with the title $50 masterpiece in an $80 industry. Cost does not equal quality. Just to give you an idea how big this game is, the BBC did an interview with the CEO, and the first quote you see in the interview is, bored in their job and wanting to do something different. Side note, the CEO used to work for Ubisoft. Make of that what you will. The article dives into how it started with, and I'm gonna butcher this, Guillermo Broche having an idea of his own project inspired by Final Fantasy. It also mentioned that he recruited people from Reddit and online forums for this project, with one of those Reddit posts being seen by Jennifer Svendenbergian. All of that during the lockdown in Australia, mind you, in which it was asked for voice actors to record something for free for a demo. She said, and I quote, I was like, I've never done that. It sounds kinda cool. So I sent him an audition. This resulted in her being cast as one of the major characters in the early versions of the game, but eventually switched to being the team's lead writer. Even their composer, Lorien Testard, yes, that's a name, was found on the music sharing website SoundCloud. It was even mentioned he never worked on a video game before. Alright. Could have fooled me there. Guillaume attributed this mostly to COVID because most people were looking for a creative outlet and massive luck. He even mentioned he had a list of 15 people to contact and was like, okay, I'm probably going to get maybe no one at all, and every time the first one is like, yeah, I'll do it. And all of this resulted from the CEO being bored. Made a game that blew past all the metrics Ubisoft's latest creation, Assassin's Creed Shadows, has on Steam. And on the off chance someone goes, but that's Steam. The game is also the highest rated game on Metacritic. That with an official statement from the developers that 2 million copies were sold. No players playing, copies sold, there's a difference. You can guess where I'm going with this. Moving on, Dynasty Warriors Origins is the news deck this week, with the producer of the game saying that the game will focus on balanced sex appeal that doesn't compromise female characters' roles and background, or in layman's words, they're going to focus less on fan service. The Mohiko Show explained, and I quote, when it came to portraying the characters, their personalities and dialogue, we aimed for a serious and straight-laced approach. We wanted to bring out the full appeal of the romance of the Three Kingdoms and create a story that felt immersive. I guess sexy elements took a backseat as a natural outcome for that. He gave examples like, and I'm gonna butcher this, Yao-chan being given a vital and serious role, how she was given a special background such as her early education in martial arts so she could realistically fight. Alright, let me get this straight. The game that literally boils down to a single dude with a sword duct taped to a very big stick, mowing down people like no tomorrow, is aiming for a serious and straight-laced approach? Alright, how about you work your combat then to be more in line with that and not a spectacle fighter while you're at it. And let's see how that works out for you. Oh, brothers, some people. Moving on, sad news for anyone that hoped GTA6 would come out this year. The game was pushed back to the 26th of May 2026. After announcing the delay, their stock price dropped. Shocker. To no one's surprise, really. The CEO of Take-Two did say he fully supports the delay so Rockstar Games can realize their creative vision for the game, which promises to be groundbreaking, a blockbuster entertainment experience. The delay brought a bunch of speculations with it, of course, like everything else would in this case. Groups on Twitter speculated that the game is a massive risk and that everyone is worried it is losing its edge to pander to the politically correct crowd that was so strident in the 2020s to 2021. He also speculated that because of the backlash of gamers rejecting political ideologies and a string of AAA failures, Rockstar Games are scouring the game to make sure they aren't doing anything that would be seen as being weak, woke, or pandering. Yeah, they should really. If this fails, they're gonna be in for one hell of a ride. That Park Place also pointed out that in the new trailer for GTA6, Lucia, the heavily marketed female lead, doesn't show up until over a minute in the trailer. Instead, the focus falls on the male protagonist, Jason. They also pointed out that within the first hour of the trailer, it racked up to 1.3 million likes. Of course, the news of the delay sparked a lot of memeing. Even Dominos took a jab at it. With the release of the second trailer for the game, Polygon had to write an article that claimed Lucia is the true hero of the game. Just to make things even weirder, in the article there were 5 mentions of the word black, all of them capitalized. Yeah, certainly something a sane person would do. The article also has a problem with the second trailer having white policemen arresting black suspects, and claimed that there is an implication that cops are just another gang on the streets protecting their own because one of those police officers said, "Us cops, we've gotta protect each other." Brother, the more I read this article, the stupider it makes me, I swear to God. There's also a claim that Lucia is gonna be the one that we are going to relate to the most, and that she's a Latina woman whose bad luck her in prison, claiming we should feel sympathetic rather than judgmental about the whole lot of crime might just be the only way she can survive. Talk about pushing your agenda. Jesus! I need a break after this. Well, next up, and I do want to state this before going into the story, this is only a rumor at this point. Nothing has been confirmed by Valve. Rumor in question is that Half-Life 3 is being playtested at the moment. During a live stream, Tyler McVicker, a reliable source of leaks and rumors, commented that the game is being playtested so rigorously and so widely that multiple people are willing to talk about it, even about details like the game's plot. Tyler also confirmed the game won't be a VR game like Alex, but it will contain procedural generated features, though they won't be terrain generations or other roguelike mechanics. The leaker also believes the game could be revealed in the summer for the winter release. Now, with the delay of GTA6, Valve has an opportunity to make one very funny joke. Close your eyes, picture it. A black screen with a message on the screen. The game that you've been waiting for since 2007, that came out before GTA 6. Then the final splash screen, Half-Life 3. All narrated by Gordon Freeman himself. That would be hilarious! Now, moving on to something more comical. Elder Scrolls Online banned the player for teabagging people under the pretext of physical harassment. So, someone managed to shove their scrotum through the screen on someone else's face? Oh wait, the laws of physics are still a thing, and someone got butthurt after a set of pixels on the screen did a crouch animation next to another set of pixels. God, we're living in the best timeline now, aren't we guys? Next up, a new extraction shooter called Arc Raiders is making Marathon look like a joke. Looking at the player count for the closed alpha, hitting at 21,000 players, with the lowest point being 6,000. That was at 7 a.m. GMT, at 7 in the morning Europe time, basically. Make of that what you will. Now, for context, Arc Raiders is a Fallout-esque game with the concept of scavenging a wasteland that's populated by hostile robots and other players. As like any other extraction shooter, you're scavenging the map for materials and weapons, and then leave it in a kill or be killed scenario. And yes, it will have proximity chat at launch, something that Marathon really should look into at this point. Moving on, Civilization 7 released a mini-trailer showing off a skit for the new Warlord expansion, putting a black woman leading a Mongol empire. As of the 11th of May, the video has all of 530 likes, while some of the comments getting more than twice the amount. That should tell you what people think of this and what people are expecting from the expansion. Yeah, last time I checked, the Mongol horde contained male warriors and was led by a Khan. Now let's dip into the gacha scene. And no, this isn't Genshin VAs causing a shit show. That's for later. We have Infinite Nikki version 1.5 not going well for the developers. Bugs, crashes and login issues left a lot of players unable to log in the game. To top it off, some monetization changes didn't sit well with a lot of players. To give you an idea, Chinese players took to the Steam forums to warn off potential new players. That's how bad things are. The developer released an apology letter with in-game currency compensation. The developer also claimed to have sorted out nearly 100 issues with plans to do more repairs the following day. They touched on some of the backlash too that happened, mainly expanding one of the events from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. They also addressed the anger around the increase in the number of pieces per outfit. Before it was 9 or 10 pieces per outfit, requiring 180 to 200 pulls to obtain the full outfit. But the new outfit requires 11 pieces, making it up to a maximum requirement of 220. Players want the numbers of max pulls to be put down to 180. Now, am I surprised that something like this happened in a gacha game? No. Am I surprised by the backlash from players? I mean, the Chinese players took the cake here, so... Then again, they're not gonna stay still, eat slop, and be like, ooh, tasty. Moving on, Doom the Dark Age has a new embargo. It's about a week before the release, or the 9th of May if you want to be more accurate, with the game being available for pre-order and has an early access the 13th of May for anyone who pre-orders it. For the rest is the 15th of May. So, what that boils down to, we'll know if something's wrong with the game before the official release date. Now, with the game sitting at number 4 in the top sellers, Metacritic gave it a score of 86 with 50 critics reviews, and IGN gave it a 9. Now, as much as I hate pre-orders, this does show how many people want to play the game, so it does give us some insight into what we can expect if shit hits the fan. And yeah, that's me just being glass half empty. In other news, Nintendo proves once again that if you try competing with them, they will sue you. But in case, Palworld had to remove the gliding function from the PALs due to the ongoing lawsuit with Nintendo. This is not the first time they had to make a change due to the lawsuit. In a previous patch, they made it so PALs are summoned next to you instead of the location of the thrown PAL sphere. At least the PALs that you could glide on now provide bonuses to gliding, but it's not a substitute for dangling under an eagle firing a bootlegged AR-15. Let's be real, that looked cool as hell, leaving aside the fact that the weapon itself was somewhat underwhelming until you hit the legendary version, but that's beside the point. And lastly, the Genshin VA strike, if you can call it a strike, that is. This time, we're starting with someone who has nothing to do with Genshin Impact, or Hoyo for that matter. The voice actress Jennifer Hale. I don't think she needs introductions considering her track record in the industry. Now, how does all of this fit together, you ask? It all started with a single apology on Twitter for losing her temper during the meeting. Now, this probably refers to the SAG meeting, but it doesn't specify. She also claims that SAG is close to having a deal, and for the members to see the very real consequences of not reaching an agreement. Unlike other people, she admits that countless people are affected by the strike. Some people could learn from this, you know. Now, you may be asking, how does this tie into the Genshin Impact, considering I didn't cover that? I didn't explain it, like modern media. Well, it ties into our next voice actor that comes into play, Allegra Clark, the voice actor behind Baidu, Acheron, and Fairy, who tweeted this. She also pointed out that she's scared that this strike will do more damage to the industry than anyone could have foreseen, regardless if AI wins or not. There is also more that she posted in the comments where she states, "It is a horrible time to be a voice actor right now. Every conversation is about the strike. Every conversation is about AI. I'm constantly bracing myself, wondering who I can trust, who's talking about me behind my back. Fans don't trust us. We'll never fully recover from this." Tina Breyer, the voice actress for Wukong from Final Fantasy XIV, mentioned over on Blue Sky that all the VAs calling for a strike to end need to suck it up because there are people who have more to lose and are running Uber Eats to make it through this. For that, saying the strike will end when we get our deal. And yes, Karina also retweeted Senna's statements and some of Little Karibo's statements on this topic. The dog post also mentioned how hilarious it is for one of the sole individuals still supporting the strike to do voice acting for the game. Just FYI, the next day Senna mentioned how little work she's gotten even though she claimed to have a lot more to lose. This comes as a surprise to no one. Now let's be real. Megan Shipman, the voice actress for Pom Pom from Honkai Star Rail, implied on Twitter that years ago, instead of getting a Taft-Hartley or a union project and help her gain eligibility, the union told the team to not do that and replace her for a union actor. All of that because there supposedly weren't enough union actors. She did get paid for the session, and she is grateful for the project, but also mentioned, and I quote, "I have gotten a Taft-Hartley form, but it's stuff like that makes me kind of balk when people say Taft-Hartleys are so easy to do. These combos are so nuanced, and I feel like people genuinely leave a lot out of the conversation here on social media just to push their side. That's not how you educate and create a better space for actors to thrive in." Wow, somebody's finally broken through the Matrix by the looks of things. There was also another VA, Natalie, who quote tweeted asking if anyone at SAC can talk about these experiences and mentioned that she was ghosted during the Taft-Hartley process on a major game. I mean, at this point, this shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. Let's think of it. And me personally, I'm not surprised, just disappointed. But anyways, that's it for this week. Leave a like if you like it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.